Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino. We're looking at a beer from Multinational, right down the street from me, here in Regina, Saskatchewan. This is Pretty Pale Ale. And I'll give you, that's a pretty label. It really is. So this one, I did get two of these cans. I only bought one. He gave me one for free that was a damaged can. Just looking for the ABV on the Pretty Pale Ale, and I had actually seen it just before we started doing this. It's a West Coast Pale Ale. It is 5.0% by volume. Canned January of 2024. Multinational. 13th Avenue, Regina, Saskatchewan. Okay. So they say on their Facebook page that they specialize in IPAs and stouts and other things. Now, I can really get behind the stouts part of it. Not so much get behind the IPA part of it. But I mean, again, that's just a personal preference when it comes to beer. I love the look of this beer. It is see-through. I can see my hand on camera right there. I can wiggle my finger and see it. I can see the red circle for the record through it. Bright white head. Nice little snap, crackle, pop. That is a very pretty beer. Now, that being said, would I know for sure that that's a pale ale in front of me? No, I'd probably think it was, well, other than the nice head on it, I would probably think it was a lager or a Kolsch or something like that, because it is that color profile. There are a lot of pale ales that are that color profile as well, so don't get me wrong, I'm not taking that away from it. I'm just saying is all what I would think if this was putteth in front of me. Sent from the can. Really? Okay, so I don't know what hops are being used in this. I really don't. But I'm getting a little bit of honeydew, a little bit of kumquat, a little bit of peach, and a green pepper note. Usually if I get green pepper notes, for me, that's usually coming from the Equinox hops. I have picked up a lot of green pepper before on Equinox. I mean, some people get it, some people don't, and it depends on where your mind goes, right? It's a lot like, well, there's so many different things, like coriander and stuff like that, right? And whether or not you can accept coriander and cilantro, or if you can't, and you know, how your body reacts to the smell of it, how your body reacts to the taste of it. For Equinox, I usually smell green pepper. I don't know that that's in there, just I get a definite green pepper scent out of the glass. Out of the glass, I get more like honeydew and, sorry, I was just seeing if dogs were trying to join me. Cheers. Oh. Huh. That's my 30-pound daughter just making more noise than the 140-pound St. Bernard and the 120-pound Great Pyrenees and the almost 50-pound Bernese Mountain Dog puppy. She makes more noise than the three of them combined. It's very bitter. This says West Coast pale ale. I think more East Coast. It has a lot of that caffeine pill bitterness to it. Has a lot of that chewing through stuff and getting the powder and everything. I'm not sold on this beer. I think this is the second multinational beer where I'm like, I'm not really sold on it. And maybe only the fourth beer of like 40 since I've been in Regina that I'm like, I'm not sold on. So I mean, my ratios are doing really well. Even my ratios with multinational, they're still above 50% on this. Just I could see a lot of people loving that, but I get a slight sweet fruity ester on the forefront. I get a slight sour fruitiness in the middle, and then I get this really drying bitterness. I don't want to say it almost tastes like there's some green apple in there, which is normally a brewing fault, so I don't want to say that that's in there, but my mind is screaming green apple. Now, is that just something playing on my tongue? Quite possibly, it's just something playing on my tongue. It could just be the mixture of hop variants, because as most of you know, any of those drying, really woody, really earthy, really just bitter hops aren't the hops I really like. And that is what's coming off of this for me. That being said, do I think there's a lot of people that would like this? Yes, I do think there's a lot of people that would like this. Do I think stylistically it hits the marks of a pale ale? Yeah, it hits the marks of a pale ale. Do I think this is a beer I would buy again or I would ever want to drink again? No. And that's okay. I've already had multinational beers that I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. I want to have this all the time. So having one where I'm like, you know what? It's not really doing it for me. That's perfectly fine to me, because it means I don't have to spread my money out as far, right? I know what I like, and I like what I like, and I buy what I like, unless they have something new for me to try. And then I'll try it. I'm not saying I'm going to like it, but I'll try it. You never know what you're going to get. Yeah, it's not really my bag. I think that's what it comes down to. I don't even know if this is one I would give a grade to or not. It's hard to not give it a grade, because if I don't give it a grade, for the most part, that would mean you upstairs. No, turn around, you giant fuzzball. No, you're going to take my light down. No. Let's give it a 5 out of 10. Bye, guys.